welcome, El Bros, to another episode of Elbows Tight Podcast. It's your host, Travis. As you guys can tell, there is some news to be passed along to you guys. If you can't tell by the title of the episode, there's a new chapter in the Elbows Tight saga. It's like John Wick. There's just multiple chapters going on. But yeah, so to just kind of jump into it, John has stepped away from the podcast, from YouTube, and all that stuff. It sucks, to tell you the truth, but I would be lying if I didn't say that I saw it coming. There's a lot of things going on in John's life, family, injuries, being a little bit older, just not necessarily being passionate about not only the podcast, but also jiu-jitsu itself. So I completely understand why he stepped away. You know what I mean? But that being said, John and I are still best friends. He still lives across the street from me. It's not like he left the podcast and the business and he moved. We still see each other every day. We were just BSing earlier, And I asked John if he wanted to do a farewell episode and kind of let everyone know. And he opted to not do it. And once again, I can't necessarily blame him. Not saying that he feels, like shameful or anything like that, but I think he kind of just it's like a bad breakup. Not bad breakup, but it's kind of like a breakup, like you just want it to be over with. And I think he just wanted it to be over with, to tell you the truth, and just wanted to, say, this is the end of my journey for me. He also stopped doing jiu-jitsu altogether. And not having that passion for something that, you've done for so many years and feeling like you're not progressing or you're getting injured and, life gets in the way. I completely understand, I still plan on doing episodes of Elbows Tight podcast. I still plan on interviewing people that I find interesting and think that you guys will have value in. I still plan on doing everything the same with Elbows Tight. It's just going to be me. People have asked, if I'm going to grab another co-host. And honestly, I'm probably not. And it's not because, John's irreplaceable, but it's because, I put a lot of passion into the content that we made. And if I were to have someone else come on board, I would want them to be as passionate as I am and want to put as much work in as I do. We've stated it plenty of times before that I do, 95% of the work for Elbows Tight. Since we make a little bit of money now, I have hired an editor to do our short form content, like I've mentioned before too. Ben, Ben does jiu-jitsu on YouTube. He's our editor. He's Flow State Editing or something like that is also his editing company. He's the one that does all our short form content now. And he's helped out quite a bit because taking something off my plate so I can focus more just on the long form content has helped out immensely. So nothing's going to change on that end, but it does suck, man. And I know a lot of you guys have tuned in over the years because of John. And one of my worries, to be honest with you, is that I can't stop it from happening, but I don't want you guys to leave because John left. I still feel like the content's going to be great. I still feel like I'm going to put as just much effort into it as possible. But not having John's point of view is, it's gonna change the dynamic of our show. Well, I guess my show now, and I it just worries me that, like, we might take a hit, from listeners being like, God, I don't even like Travis as it is, and now I only have to listen to Travis. So, so I'm sure there's going to be some people that decide to unfollow on Spotify, unfollow us on Instagram, unsubscribe on YouTube, all that fancy stuff. But it's just a little. It's honestly, it's a little scary, doing this all by myself. John was kind of like a comfort pillow, I guess you could say. Not calling him fat or anything like that, John, if you're listening. But it's like it's easier to do something, put yourself out there when you're with your best friend. John was been here since day one. We started jujitsu together on the same day. We work together. John's been a huge part of my life, and a part of my success in my personal life is because of him. And a huge part of the success of this podcast is because of him. And so not having him there for that is a little scary. Now, I know nothing crazy is going to happen. I take that back. I don't know that. But, I have faith in myself and what I'm able to accomplish. And, so that's nice. But as you guys can tell, I'm just like kind of at a loss for words. This didn't happen like today or yesterday. It happened about a week and a half ago. So I've been working on trying to figure out what to do. And, I've talked to a couple people about it, and they've mentioned, take it as a rebranding opportunity, or take it as a way to be as creative as possible and do the things that you want to do and not have to worry about what everyone or what John thinks, or things like that. So that is true. I'm excited for that. Not that John held me back creatively or didn't want to do the things I did. John was very open and willing to letting me run the thing pretty much. So I don't have to really worry about that. But it does get me excited and nervous. There's definitely more content that I want to do outside of just the podcast. Like, I want to do more YouTube content now, more YouTube videos outside of the podcast. And it's exciting. I'm excited for that. It's just me trying to find the time to do it all by myself. And it's putting myself out there by myself. I mean, I've already pretty much done it. If you guys haven't noticed, John hasn't really been, in the last couple months, he hasn't really been too much on the show because of personal life and going and traveling and whatnot. So, but yeah, I don't know really what else to say about that. I'm just excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy. You guys probably noticed that the artwork has changed if you haven't already. I am going to hire a graphic designer. Talk to Mike, one of our listeners, great friend over in Texas. Talk to him, and he's like, dude, you should just hire a graphic designer and rebrand. So I'm looking at Fiverr now. If anyone knows a good graphic designer or someone that can hook it up, I need a full swing social media kit to change everything, because John's was half of the show, so his face is on everything. His name was on everything. Our LLC, he's 50-50 on the LLC with me. So I have to change that now, so having your best friend and your business partner kind of step away is, there's a lot I have to do. So I kind of already just put like a temporary podcast logo out there, just to hold me over until I can get, like a professional asset kit done. But yeah, so John left, and that's pretty much it for that. So some of the things I want to do now are, I want to do like community spotlights. Oh, also, speaking of community spotlights, the Facebook page, the Facebook group has a name. My buddy Chris does jujitsu on YouTube. Another does jujitsu. You guys need to come up with some more original names, okay? Anyways, Chris does jujitsu was the first one to send me the name of the community that I thought was great. But subsequently, there were many other people that came with this name too. So I figure since everyone well, not everyone, since a good majority of people came with this name, I figured it might as well be it. If you guys didn't notice, L Bros is going to be the community name. So if you go on facebook.com/L Bros community, then you'll see the community page. Also, the link will be down in the description if you guys want to just click the link and go straight there. It is a private Facebook group, so you have to apply and then I'll accept you. I just want to make sure that we don't get any trolls or bots or anyone trying to harm the community. So, but that's up now. So L Bros is the community name. I think it's hilarious. When Chris sent it to me, I started laughing hysterically. And then, a couple people after him sent it too. I was like, man, that's gotta be it. Another one was tight tins, the tight tins, right? Cause elbows tight. And there was a lot of good ones here. Let me see. Maybe I'll go through my Instagram DMs and let's see if I can find any other good ones. But yeah, it was pretty good when I saw Elbros. So I was like, that's got to be it. So Elbros is the community name. I just said that multiple times. I'm sorry. But yeah, so what I want to do now is I want to, even in the community page, I want to spotlight, people in the community. So bringing people on maybe once a month, once every other month to tell their story about jiu-jitsu, how they got into it, how it's affected their life, and all that stuff. And kind of give back to you guys once again, because if it wasn't for you, then the show wouldn't happen, and the success that I have had with the show wouldn't have happened either. And if you guys didn't show up, John would have never left. No, so it's like it's exciting to have the community page now, and so I want to hear your guys' stories on there. And like every Monday we could do like, what's your latest victory? So I'll put a post up in Facebook, and then I want to hear your guys' recent victories, whether it's you didn't get submitted, or whether it's you submitted someone, or you hit your training goals, or you got a PR in the gym, or whatever it is. I would love to hear from you guys on what your recent victories are in jiu-jitsu, outside of jiu-jitsu. And I just want to get closer to everyone and get to know who you are. And like I said, I would love to start having, maybe once a month, a person from the community come in, tell their story so everyone can hear it. And I'll figure out a way to kind of vet that and not just make it to where it's just, people are just hitting me up because they want to come on the show. I want to make sure that, there's a good way everyone could do it, whether it's, a raffle or I don't know, something. So also I put out on the Instagram, I asked you guys if you thought that we should do our merch as I keep saying we. Anyways, well, it's ours, right? You at home and then mine also. So I asked if we should do a limited merch drop for each shirt or whatever it is. And I thought it would be kind of cool to add that, like, in my eyes, if we do a limited time merch drop on t-shirts or, like I said, cups or whatever, then it can kind of be like, if you guys, this is going to sound stupid, if you guys are live stream watchers like Twitch or YouTube or Kick or whatever, when you subscribe to a person, you get like a badge next to your name for however long you subscribe. So I figured merch could kind of be that, like, look, I have the very first Elbows Tight merch drop. That's how long I've listened to them, kind of thing, and then maybe a couple years down the road or whatever, I can see who has the oldest shirt that we dropped. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what shirt you came in at, So I think that'd be kind of cool to have also kind of show a little bit more, give back to you guys for being loyal friends and listeners and whatnot. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think it'll probably be 2 months max for each shirt. And then also I wanted to let you guys know that when I release these shirts, I don't make much money on them. I'm not necessarily doing it for the money, because if I was doing it for the money, I would print them myself. I would go out and find someone that I can do it for super cheap and then send them out and, mark them up and everything. But Teespring doesn't offer very much money in return, just a couple dollars per shirt. And so I don't make much. So I try to keep the cost pretty low. I think $20 $23 plus shipping for a shirt isn't unreasonable, especially if it's a good design and I've put a lot of thought into it. So that's why. Also, the merch has hoodies and everything like that. And if you guys have any ideas for things for merch, then I can design it and whatnot. Like, I think the next one I have two other designs already in queue that I'm trying to figure out which one I want to drop next. And I think I'm going to give this current drop another couple weeks, and then give a final, hey, get your stuff, and then drop the next one, have a little bit of a grace period between, and then drop the next one. Kind of build that ramp up. You know what I mean? I always like when you can. Oh, I think my mic's in focus. When you can get excited about merch or get excited about exclusive things, like when a game's drop in or whatever. I'm such a nerd. Building that like, oh, is it coming? Is it about to happen? When is it showing up? What's the next one going to be? That's what I'm excited for, to do that with you guys. So
support for Elbows Tight is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code ETP20 at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls.
That's a lot of balls, Johnny. When Manscaped reached out to work with us, I instantly thought, yes, what a deal. I've been using Manscaped products for a while now, and when they mentioned helping out with the podcast, I thought it was a no-brainer. I have the Lawnmower 4.0 now, but I had the Lawnmower 3.0 and absolutely loved it. Also, most people think about Manscaped as just trimmers, but really they have ball deodorant, ball toner, the Weed Whacker, which is your favorite thing, right, John?
Yeah, I love the Weed Whacker. Look, I'm about to hit like 45 years old, so I got hair growing out of everywhere now. So it's coming out my ears. I'm like, man, where is that Weed Whacker? It's definitely my favorite.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code ETP20 at Manscaped. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code ETP20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools to get the job done with Manscaped. But giving you an update on my injury, it feels so much better. Man, it feels so much better. So I was talking to some friends about, how to train with my injury, my chest. What it was is I rewatched the videos, and it was like a chest compression that happened, and Cody was actually on my right side when it happened. I was on my left side. And then so his shoulder or his pressure like compressed my chest. And I'm not 100% yet, but it feels a lot better. And training with injuries is such a fascinating topic because everyone is so indifferent about should you train, should you not train. Even within my academy, people were telling me I should take time off and whatnot. And I probably should have, because I did hurt myself a little bit more a couple times, but I still trained through it. I only took like one day off so far between, classes, or I've only skipped one class because of it. And now, because of the injury, I've been playing a little bit more lasso and spider guard and really working on my guard retention. And honestly, on Thursday, I was pretty proud of myself for how good I was doing. I was like, holy crap, man, this is improved quite a bit. When I used to play a lot of lasso and a lot of spider guard, and I kind of stayed away from it, I steered away from it because I enjoyed half guard now. And, so I started playing a little bit more half guard, got away from lasso and spider. And now, because I want people to stay away from me so I don't get crushed, chest to chest or shoulder to chest or whatever, so my injury doesn't get like flared up again, I've been playing lasso and spider, keep that distance from them. And it's fun because one of my favorite sweeps is from lasso, the lasso sweep or whatever. You could get the lasso, put the shin across the hips, and then dump them. You got the bicep slicer there and whatnot. Jordan Pressinger just put out a little reel about it. That's my favorite sweep. So I do that sweep all the time. And, or you just do the
the lasso and then just kind of like dump them over to the side so they can't base out. That one's really good too. But so I was playing that on Thursday, and it felt great. I had a blast. We had 45 minutes of sparring. I did not spar the entire 45 minutes because, like I said, I was still worried about injuring myself more. So I rolled one, skipped one, rolled one, skipped one, rolled one, skipped one, and I tried to let my drilling partners know every single time, like, hey, I do have a chest injury. It's my right side. Just the compression on my chest is what hurts. Don't worry if I scream, because if I hurt it, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't put myself in that position to where you could hurt it. So that was my main goal, is just not letting them get to that position or get to a position where they could hurt me. And I could hurt myself or reflare it or whatever you want to say it. So that was a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And, it's interesting playing around an injury. I've never had one this major before. And so I feel like my jiu-jitsu has improved because I did train through it. Now, depending on your injury, I wouldn't recommend that for everyone. I just knew, I trusted myself that I could keep people away. And honestly, it wasn't like that the week before. The week before, I was still going to my A game. I was still playing half guard, laying on my side, and then people would try to crush me through my half guard. I would try to wrestle up, and the extension of my arm and then grabbing people and bringing them back in really hurt a lot. And my buddy John, not podcast John, another John, he kind of like sat on my shoulder or put his chest on my shoulder, and it wasn't very much pressure, to tell you the truth. And I like screamed. It hurt that bad. And I just stopped rolling for the night. So after that happened, I definitely in my mind was like, I have to stay away from my A game. I have to work on something else, because if I keep going to my A game, I'm going to keep hurting myself. So if you guys train through injuries at home, let me know how you did it, how you experimented, or did you just sit on the sideline? Message me, comment down below, whatever. Let me know how you guys have handled injuries through jiu-jitsu and training with them, because this is like I said, this is my first major one. And it was an eye-opener. You know what I mean? It was an eye-opener for me to realize that I have to do something else, or else I'm gonna screw myself. So I did start playing a little bit more lasso and whatnot, and it's been pretty great. So but yeah, let me know back home at home, what do you guys do when you are injured? That's the highlights of my recent training. We did have promotions at my academy, and because I took that day off, I did miss promotions. I missed one of my good friends, Justin, who has been training with me since, or been at the academy since day one that this academy's been open. He got his blue belt, man, and which is super cool. I'm trying to get my camera in focus. I don't know what's going on. What are you doing, camera? What are you doing? So that's super cool. And, I'm not even like upset that I didn't get a promotion or anything like that. It's just, I'm at the point now where if I get promoted to purple belt or I get another stripe, that's dope. It's not going to stop me from training. And definitely in my early days, I would have been more bothered by it. And to be honest, who doesn't want to get promoted? Of course I want to get promoted. Of course I'm trying to get promoted and move to the next rank, earn another stripe or whatever. But it sucked more not seeing my friends get promoted, especially Justin, who's been doing jiu-jitsu as long as I have, and he finally got his blue belt. He had some like inconsistencies in his training, but I would have loved to have been there for that, and I took the day off, man. So I was like kicking myself in the butt, like, gosh dang it, man. Why did I take the day off? Like, I should have freaking been there for him. But it's okay. And then my buddy John got his purple belt, which is amazing. A bunch of stripes, which is phenomenal. It's always great seeing everyone move up. So one of the problems that was with our academy, well, not necessarily a problem, but one of the things with our academy is we're like such a junior academy that we don't have very many colored belts. We now only have one purple belt, which is John, and two brown belts, Cody and Billy, and then one black belt, and the rest, I think we have like five blue belts, maybe, and then like 20, 30 white belts. And I don't know if that's normal for a small academy, but that definitely seems like, not very many color belts, not much experience. So to see people start leveling up gets me super excited, because that means, the academy is leveling up. Our lineage through jiu-jitsu is starting to level up. And the more, I look at these academies that have a bunch of black belts, and I'm like, man, that's great. I wish I could train with that many black belts, because I feel like there's just so much knowledge in the room. It's just gonna, the saying is, rising tides lifts all ships, and I feel like as everyone progresses and ranks up, everyone below them is just going to rank up too. You know what I mean? At your academy, guys, let me know. Do you have a lot of black belts? Do you have a lot of colored belts? Like, how is that experience if you walk into class and you have like freaking 10, 15 black belts? That'd be incredible. Like Legion in San Diego, holy guacamole, I would love to train there and just pick brains, And that's one of the great parts about the podcast too, is I get to talk to some of these incredible black belts all around the world who are a wealth of knowledge also, and I can pick their brain on how to do techniques. And like, we had Rick Ellis come out for a seminar, and that was a whole lot of fun, and I would love to do that more. One of my goals with the podcast is I would love to put on like a summit or a seminar where people from all around the world that listen to us can come and train and be in a seminar with some of the guests that we get to talk to and experience, and do something like that. I think that'd be a whole lot of fun one day, but obviously it's not going to happen anytime soon, because it's going to cost a lot of money, because I would have to pay so many people. But maybe one day. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. So, excuse me. So if that interests you and you got connections, maybe we could do that, like the Elbows Tight community seminar, meet up, greet up, beat up. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That could be a rap song. But if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know, because that'd be really freaking cool. But yeah, training's been great. Everything is going fantastic. It sucks that John left. I hope you guys stick around through thick and thin with everything. I hope there, isn't too much of a fall off. I greatly appreciate every single one of you, and I know I don't fit everyone's cup of tea as a host. That's why, John was there, because hopefully he could grab more of you guys. But it's all right. It's just a new chapter in the Elbows Tight saga. It's like there's ebbs and flows, ups and downs through everything we do in life. Jiu-jitsu is the same way. You're going to have your highs of highs and your lows of lows, and it's what you do in those lows of lows. And I'm not saying this is lows of low, but it does suck. But when you're in those lows, what are you doing? Are you continuing to train? Are you continuing to improve? Are you taking it for, advantage, or are you trying to learn from it? So I'm excited for the future of what's coming. I'm excited to experience it with you guys. Don't forget to go check out the Facebook community page, L Bros Community, L dash Bros Community. Once again, it's going to be down in the description below. Chris, thank you for the name. He's the winner, so we're going to have him on probably sometime soon, so we can chit chat with him. He's a great guy. I talk to him all the time. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. And I'm excited for the new chapter. I'm excited for what's coming. I got some things up my sleeves. I can't wait to experience with you guys. So thank you so much for listening and watching at home. And remember, no oil checks here. Peace.